My daughter got the same thing. I'm writing too.
Is this Storyworth?
Yes.
We did it for my dad last year, and we just finished the full year cycle. So now we have to put the book together.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Well, he got through. I don't think he was as prolific as maybe women might be, but yes, for him to write. Yeah, yeah. So he made it through 10 solid answer questions, and some answers were he wrote for 2 pages and some like a paragraph. So it's a combination.
Well, it's a challenging exercise.
Yes.
You know, but
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I like to write. So,
oh, nice.
So I can't stop.
Yeah. Well, and I think I think that my sister and I might try and interview him with some other questions just to augment it.
What were some of the prompts for the question?
Mary was just saying, they range the gamut from like your earliest childhood memories to your favorite book but you can also write your own questions. Yes. So like I wrote some pretty specific ones for my dad to answer that I wanted documented.
Were those the ones that he answered the long version?
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. Good. So some of the Storyworth prompt questions, I guess he didn't resonate with them. So
and your parents have told you. Yeah. Like my dad was in the war, World War II, and traveled in Europe, and he told us late in life some of those. And I'm trying to remember all the details related to it now. So that takes time. Sure. I do. And my 2 brothers have a map that shows you the route that he went. And the other brother has his medals for each of the battles that he he's done. Exactly. So like, I don't know. Yeah. So I said you're taking notes. So I'm on my computer. There's a notepad. And today it's like loyalty, faithfulness, like those chapters.
I know Jennifer Caputo. We talked about this on the yoga teacher. Yes, I took her class again about a year ago in January, and I'm down here getting it. So I'm here. So I remembered you when I saw your face. I was like, no. So I live in Sparta. Yeah. Who owns on the restaurant? So I don't know him, but I've been on. Yeah. So I'm happy to be back. Jennifer. Oh, just like you're from Denver. Exactly. Yes.
And how did you two? So she's a teacher.
Obviously, you know this at Helen Morgan School where my children now they're in the middle school. So they used to go there, and they did not have her, but she was just such this. See her, the whole family, she's beautiful, like you know, and her hair, yes, and then you know the yoga, obviously that interesting, you know. And she's trained for children now, and then she's doing the office after school, which is amazing. So it's so great. But so I don't really know her. Okay. I did talk to her about you did? Field day last year. She's like, right. Well, that was your maiden name. That's what she said. Oh, yeah. And then there's some really Right.
Yeah, she's we were just texting actually yesterday.
Yeah.
One of my dearest.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yes.
All right, 9:20. So this class is new since you were here.
Okay.
This is a yoga meditation.
Whatever you got from him, whatever you got, I'm gonna love it. Exactly.
How often are you teaching?
So my studio is in my house. Okay. So whenever I can get clients to come, I use a sign-up year. And I offer classes Tuesday or Saturday. It's just a matter of in the morning, you just never really come. So I teach them about class and then again, and then a last year, down.
Yeah, and I have her, yeah, I brought her book with me today because I thought I'd read something from it.
Awesome.
All right. As the voices quiet. We have matching purples here. Yeah, you and Mary look like twins today. And it's a beautiful color for spring.
And you're matching too.
I am. I wore my purple too. All right. Hi, ladies. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. So wonderful to be here with you all on this Thursday of spring, welcoming spring in. So we did a little bit of some spring celebration on our Monday practice. So I thought that we would kind of continue with that, some spring renewal. So we'll do all of our movement in the front end of today's practice and then lead into some pranayama and then our meditation. So any questions before we start? You feeling good? I feel like I'm just coming out of a hibernation this week. I'm never really affected by the time change, but whoo, it's done. Like I went to bed at 8:30 last night. I told my husband, I'm like, you just have to do everything because I'm going to my bed. So, but I think I finally feel like I'm coming out of it. All right. So let us actually start in Tadasana. So come to stand. So in finding Tadasana, you know, we kind of talk about it all the time. We want some symmetry. So look down at your feet and imagine, if you will, that you're lying on your back. So what happens when we lie on our backs in Shavasana? We let our back settle, our low back lengthen. So you want to create that same effect when you're here and standing. So with the feet hip distance apart, just rock forward and back a little bit so you really feel the four corners of your feet. So the two corners in your, good job, in the balls of your feet and in your heels. And then plant, root down, spread your toes, lift them up, fan them out. When that happens, you feel the inner arch lift a little. So that engagement, that lift of energy, now continue moving that energy up the legs. Use the wall if you need to. You're okay. And then lengthen down through your tailbone. Have your chin parallel to the floor. Create and draw it in a little bit. So you feel a little bit of space create in your cervical spine. Deep breath in and out. So feel this energy, this engagement in the legs, your kneecaps lifting up a little bit, but you're rooting down through the feet. Inhale, float the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, turn the palms up. And breathe here for 3. So imagine lengthening up yet softening the shoulders away from the ears and feeling as if you're rooting down still through the feet. If you feel like the arch has come back into the back, lengthen down through your tailbone and see what effect that has. And next exhale, take the arms out to the sides, push through your palms, flexing the hands, lengthening across the arms as the chest opens a little bit. Draw the arms back a little bit so you feel like they're out of your peripheral vision. Allowing the heart space and chest to expand. And then bring the hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers, extending the arms, or if the shoulders feel too tight for that, you can bring the knuckles to your sacrum. But it's more about drawing the elbows toward each other so we get that opening in the chest. So grounding down through the feet. And then release, float the arms overhead. And now bring the hands to heart center. Close the eyes for a few moments here and set an intention for your practice. So with this new season, this spring renewal maybe comes something new to focus on. Been talking a lot about just focusing on the breath and the relationship with the breath in our practice. So maybe it's just choosing that for your intention today. Whatever it is that's brought you to your mat today, because it is a choice. So honoring what brought you here today and using that for your intention. And then let one hand rest over your heart space, one hand to the low belly, and we'll take an Om together. So it might be interesting for you to Om standing versus sitting. Take a full inhale and exhale it out. And we'll Om on the next exhale. Actually do one more. Inhale. Beautiful. Interlace your fingers, press your palms to the earth. Put a little bend in your knees as you sweep the arms forward and overhead. Exhale, so 5 times. Interlace your fingers, palms up, and then press down, bend the knees, sweep the arms forward and overhead. Exhale, interlace the fingers, gaze looks down, and then turn the palms down, bend the knees, sweep the arms forward and up. Maybe the gaze starts to look up. So come so the fingers are interlacing, push down toward the earth. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, honoring the earth below us. Palms pushing down toward it, and then sweep that energy up overhead. Exhale, down. Take the feet a little wider so that we can get a deeper bend in the knees, turning the toes out just a little bit. Interlace the fingers. Now a deeper bend in the knees. Sweep the arms forward and overhead. And exhale. Interlace. Push the earth toward the earth and then sweep the energy up overhead. And exhale, release. maybe a deeper bend, bringing your pelvic floor toward the earth. Exhale, release. Interlace the fingers, press the palms down, and sweep that energy up and release. One more. Maybe a deeper squat down and then sweeping up and release. Beautiful. Come to the top of your mat. Setting up for a sun salutation. So inhale the arms overhead and exhale. Take your time diving into Uttanasana, feeling like you're leading with the heart. And then inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and step both feet back to plank, and then drop your knees down. Rock the shoulders forward, past the wrists a little bit. Hug the elbows in and lower chin and chest. Sits bones sticking straight up. Inhale, slide forward onto the belly, and then inhale, lifting up into cobra, just a baby cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes under and push your seat back to your heels. Get a big stretch here, and then let the hips lift you up to downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Look between your hands and walk your feet up to the top of your mat, lifting up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, put a bend in your knees, lift the upper body to standing, and then straighten the legs, floating the arms overhead, closing the sun salutation with hands to our heart center and Tadasana. And then grab your blocks, place your blocks on either side of your feet at the middle height. So having them accessible. Inhale the arms overhead and exhale, diving forward. Bend your knees, hands on blocks, and extend that right leg back behind you, finding a low lunge. And then drop the right knee down. Lift up a little bit, so bring the blocks under your shoulders and start to put a little deeper bend in this left knee. So stretching our front right quad muscle, our hip flexors, our psoas muscle. And then shift the hips back, come up on your left heel, setting up for half Hanumanasana. So starting upright. Make sure your shoulders are lifted up, stacking with your hips. And flex the left foot. To deepen this, hinge forward. So a common theme when we hinge forward, think about leading with the heart. Bringing the heart toward the leg versus rounding into the stretch. Full breath in. Full breath out, and then inhale to lift up, rock forward onto that left foot, and bring the blocks forward, tuck your right toes under to lift back to low lunge, and then inhale that left arm, twisting open to the left, right hand on the block. So feel the relationship with the breath. When we begin to exert a little bit more effort, focus on the breath. Exhale that left hand back down, and then step the left leg back, still hands on blocks, so you're in this high plank pose, and then drop your knees down. And extend the right leg behind you, draw that right knee into your chest and then step that right foot forward. Tuck your left toes under and come into your low lunge here. Notice the position of your chest, your shoulders. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And then lower this left knee down. Uncurl the toe. Bring the blocks under your shoulders and deepen the bend in your right knee. So first lowering, getting the stretch in the left quad muscle. Notice how it feels in your hip flexors, your psoas muscle. And then shift the hips back. Come up on the right heel. Right toes lifting, that foot flexing, and shoulder stacking with hips. And then leading with the heart. Coming into a deeper stretch on this side. Full breath in and out. Inhale to lift back up, rocking forward on that right foot. Bring the blocks to frame that foot, middle height. Tuck the left toes under. Left hand stays on the block. Inhale, right arm, opening into the twist on this side. Feeling that leg not dumping into the left shoulder, but really expanding across the heart. Feeling that length from left hand out through right fingertips. Full breath in. And exhale, lowering that right hand. High plank again with your blocks. And then lift your hips. Find downward dog using the blocks. And just notice how the blocks are creating maybe more length for you in the arms, shoulders, spine. Let the head be between the arms so that the tension is free from the neck. And then look between your hands and walk your feet up so your feet come between the blocks. And inhale, lifting up halfway. Bring your hands to your hips and begin to bend your knees, dropping your seat toward your heels. So we're going to move in a chair pose, but making sure alignment is there first. Your knees are behind your toes. So you're sitting back. Bring hands to prayer. Feel the low back lengthening down. Now maybe float the arms up by the ears or keep them at prayer. If the knees start to move in front of your toes, sit back a little bit. The weight is in the heels. One more full breath. And then inhale, straighten the legs, reach up through the arms, a little arch back of the upper back. And then hands to heart center. Tadasana, a little dynamic chair into a twist pose. So we'll inhale to the chair. Exhale, straighten the legs, and then drop that right arm behind you. Left arm extends out from the shoulder, twisting to the right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chair. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist open to the left. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Exhale, chair. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open to the right. Inhale, arms up by the ears and into chair. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, twisting open to the left. And come up, arms up. And hands to heart center, Tadasana. Inhale, the arms overhead. Exhale, float down into Uttanasana. Inhale, lift up halfway. exhale, move the blocks to the side, plant your hands, step both feet back to plank and lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, slide forward, coming onto your belly so your hands end up by your lowest set of ribs, moving into rolling cobra. So first check in with the legs, feeling them long on the mat. Tilt your pubic bone toward the mat so you have a lengthening of your low back. On an inhale, lifting the upper body, gaze looking at the floor, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, one more time, rising up, and exhale, lower down. And then make a pillow for your head. So stack your hands together on top of each other so the forehead can rest on the backs of your hands. Elbows moving out to the side. Separate your legs, turn your feet out so the inner ankle bone comes to the mat. Rotating the legs slightly inward. Moving into what we call crocodile pose. Crocodile pose is a way for us to breathe more from the diaphragm. So notice how the breath, how your belly is pressing against the mat, and that the breath is coming from your diaphragm. So follow the breath. Notice where the breath is starting in the body and where it's moving to. Follow it as it exhales out. Just a couple more breaths here, noticing how the breath moves to the low back, helps the low back to release. Notice how it feels for the whole spine, moving up to the neck. One more full breath in and out, and then come back to the tops of your feet, bringing the legs a little closer together. And then slide your hands straight out from your shoulders. So coming into a shoulder stretch here. Now slide your right hand in closer to your chest. Begin pressing into that right hand as you roll yourself onto the left side of your body. You might need to extend the left arm a little bit further out and then dropping the head down to rest on the mat. Stacking the legs. Balancing on this left side. That right hand can come in closer to the chest to help you. One more full breath in and out, rocking onto the belly, forehead on the mat, and then draw the left hand in close to the chest. Push into that left hand to roll yourself onto the right side of the body. Right arm extending straight out. Stacking the legs. And breathing into the shoulder now, noticing how this side feels versus the other side. We're our own self-explorer. doing body scans when we're in these poses. One more full breath in and out. And then rolling back onto the belly, slide that right hand in so that the hands are coming in close into your chest so you can press yourself up, finding tabletop. Hands and knees. Have your knees under your hips, shoulders stacking with elbows and wrists. Spread your fingers. On an inhale, lifting the crown of the head, tilting the tailbone up for cow pose. And exhaling into cat. Inhale through to cow. And exhaling into cat pose. One more full inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Push back, tuck your toes under and push your seat to your heels. Get a full stretch here, arms fully extended. Come up on your fingertips, lifting your wrists off the mat. Let the head drop in between the arms. Full breath in, full breath out, and then inhale, rock back to tabletop and tuck your legs under you so you can move them around and extend in front of you and then come onto your backs. Setting up for just a little bit of back bend here with rolling bridges. So just continuing to focus on this relationship with our breath. If it helps you to have a block in between the thighs to keep your alignment, go ahead and put a block in between the thighs. Draw your heels toward your sits bones. Try and reach your heels with your longest finger when you extend your arms out. And you want to try and keep your feet, your knees, and your hips aligned. And then as we lift our hips up, we're going to float our arms overhead. So all on an inhale, lifting the hips, the back off the mat, the arms overhead. And then exhale, lower the arms when you get about halfway, lower the back with the arms. Inhale, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips, floating the arms overhead. And exhale, lowering the arms, and then lower the back with the arms. Inhale, floating up. Finding a rhythm with your breath. So do 3 more on your own. They can be a longer count or shorter, whatever works with you and your breath. So feeling the thighs and the glutes engaged, yet not clenching. So a few more rounds. So deepening that relationship with the breath and movement. And then whatever round you're on, finishing up. Remove the block. Hug the knees into your chest. Just rock from side to side a little bit, massaging out the sacrum. And then drop the left foot to the mat, keeping the right knee hugged in, coming into figure 4. So turn the right knee out to the side, the right ankle bone resting on the left thigh, and this right foot staying flexed. Take your right hand, gently press it on the inside of your right knee. Just deepening that stretch for the outer hip flexor. want to go deeper with this stretch, interlace the fingers behind the left thigh, lifting that left leg up so the calf is parallel with the floor. And maybe start to draw the legs toward your chest. So this pose, figure 4, is essentially pigeon pose on our back. So a deep stretch for the hips, keeping both feet flexed. And then dropping left foot down, keep the right leg where it is, and drop this right foot to the floor down here on the left side. So the left leg is just rolling down. So grounding this right foot on the floor, your left knee is poised against it, and then take the arms out to the side in line with your shoulders, palms face up. Coming into this abdomen twist, but also maybe feeling it in your IT band. And try and let the back settle. Shoulders softening. Maybe even the muscles in your brow softening. One more full inhale and exhale. And then your next inhale, begin rolling or rocking the legs back to center and release that right foot. Let's take a long stretch in between. So extend the legs out onto the mat, take the arms overhead for a long stretch. And then lower the arms to your sides, draw your feet back in closer, and then draw your left knee into your chest, turning it out to the side. Let that left ankle bone rest on the right thigh, or really just past the right thigh. This left foot flexed. And then take your left hand, gently push to the inside of that left knee. And then if you want to deepen this, interlace the fingers behind the right thigh, lifting that right leg so the calf is parallel with the floor, and drawing the legs in toward your chest. They say our hips are closets for our emotions. So if one hip is talking more than the other hip, might be a clue in as far as your dominance, which side is more dominant than the other, which side you favor. And then exhale that right foot down to the mat, and then we'll drop this left foot over here to the right side, letting the right leg fall toward the mat, and having that left heel be a barrier for the right leg. Coming into the twist on the other side, arms coming out to the sides, forming a T. Soften the eyes or close the eyes completely. Softening the shoulders. Full breath in. Full breath out. Next inhale, feel it gather in the belly as you lift the legs back to center. And then draw the knees into your chest, lift your forehead up to your knees, breathing into the back of your neck. Lowering the head back down, extend the legs up to the ceiling. So legs up for about 30 seconds here. So begin to let the energy flow down the legs, reversing the circulation, allowing the blood flow to move from your heels. Almost picture an hourglass And the sand is moving from your heels down the legs, your knees being that skinny part of the hourglass. And just feeling all of those grains of sand moving down the legs, allowing the sits bones to feel grounded with the earth, the hips settling. And then a little engagement for our core here. We'll lower the legs down to the floor on the count of 10. So slowly. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good job, everyone. Draw the knees into your chest, hands under the knees, preparing to rock forward and back, or you can always roll to your right side, all bringing us up to a seat for some forward folds. So let's extend the legs out in front of us to start. Sit up nice and tall, maybe move the flesh away from the sits bones. And then let's draw the right knee into our chest. Drop it out to the side, taking the sole of the foot to the inside of that left leg. Keep the left foot flexed. Inhale the arms up by the ears. Slight micro twist to the left. And then hinge. Same cue as earlier, leading with the heart. At the point that you feel your back rounding, drop your hands and then close the eyes or soften the gaze. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, feel that spine lengthening. The exhale, feel it wrap around the low back. And then inhale to lift up, bringing that right knee up and then extend it out. Bring the hands behind and just windshield wiper the feet in between sides. Sitting up nice and tall again, draw that left knee into the chest, dropping it out. Sole of the foot resting against the inside thigh. Flexing right foot, inhale, arms up, slight micro twist to the right. Hinge forward, lead with the heart. Settling into where your edge is. Think about lengthening up through the crown of the head on your inhale. The exhale, the breath wrapping around the low back, helping the low back to release stored tension. Full breath in, full breath out. Our forward folds give us the opportunity to turn inward. Following your inhales and your exhales, matching your inhales with your exhales. Next inhale lifts you up. And bring that left knee up, extend it out, and then take your legs wide for Upavista Konasana. Knees and toes stay facing the ceiling. So sit up nice and tall in your seat, arms up by the ears. And again, it's a hinging forward. So take it slow. Let your breath move you into this fold. And again, as you are about to round, hands come down. Gaze softens, your eyes close. Inhale, feel the spine lengthening up. The exhale, the sits bones rooting down. Feel a sort of an outer rotation of your thighs to keep your knees and toes facing the ceiling. One more full breath in and out. And then inhale to lift up. Draw the soles of the feet together. Move the heels away from your pubic bone, about 1.5 feet. So coming into Tirasana, star pose. Interlace the fingers, reach forward, wrap them around the feet, and take the elbows out to the sides, and then round the spine as the crown of the head drops toward the heels. Finding that deep and even breath. And inhale to lift up, draw the heels in closer, Baddha Konasana. So either you can spread open the feet toward the ceiling, almost like you're opening the pages of a book, and seeing how that might feel for you. It might open the hips a little bit, or if you prefer to interlace the fingers and keep them together to help you sit up nice and tall. So instead of folding in this, let's just practice lengthening up. So close the eyes. With each inhale and exhale, feeling the spine growing 1/8 of an inch at a time. Your sits bones rooting down. You can even massage the inside of your feet if you want. Softening the shoulders. One more full inhale. And then exhale, extending the legs out in front of you. Paschimottanasana. Inhale the arms up. Push your big toes away from you. Draw the pinky toes towards you. And then hinge. Lead with the heart. Coming into this forward fold. When we lengthen our spine in this, we're moving our low belly toward our thighs. Essentially, this is our forward fold, our standing forward fold. Seated. Another full breath in and out. And then inhale to lift up. So moving into our meditation seat. So finding the seat that you will be able to commit to for 5 to 10 minutes. So that might look like, we've worked on this before, if you want to cross the legs and then use a block to place under your sits bone so that the knees drop beneath the hips, sitting up nice and tall. Or it could look like hero's pose, where you bring the block under your seat in between your ankles, 1 or 2 blocks, depending on how the knees feel. Adjust the air. So finding your seat that you fit to. The spine is long. And the sits bones start to root down. So starting with a little reading, actually starting with a little pranayama. So alternate nostril breathing. So just to understand the benefits of alternate nostril breathing, sharing words from this book, Restorative Yoga for Life. Nadi Shodhana helps to create balance between the right and the left sides of the brain. In yogic thought, the right side is believed to be the masculine side, which harnesses the sun energy known as Ha. And the left side is believed to be the feminine side, which harnesses the moon energy known as Tha. Hence the term Hatha Yoga. When it comes to breathing, every 88 minutes, either our left or right nostril is dominant. Alternate nostril breathing tricks the brain, so it does not know which nostril should be dominant, allowing the breath to flow more evenly through each nostril. And when we use this technique, our brain and nervous system become balanced to help us move more easily into a state of meditation. So taking your left palm, turning it up, bringing the index finger and the thumb to touch, letting that hand rest on your knee or your thigh. Bringing your right hand, index finger and middle finger rest in between the forehead at that third eye. So we have our thumb and our ring finger to close the nostrils. So starting by closing the right, inhale through the left. Pause at the top of the breath to then close the left nostril, opening the right, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Pausing at the top of the breath, closing the right nostril, open the left, exhale left. Inhale left. Pause at the top of the breath. Exhale right. Inhale right. Pause at the top. Exhale left. Inhale left. Pause. Exhale right. Inhale right. Pause. Exhale left. Inhale left. Pause. Exhale right. Inhale right. Pause. Exhale left. Inhale left. Inhale right. Pause. Exhale left. One more round on your own. Finishing up with the exhale out of the left nostril, and moving into our silent meditation. Slowly making your way onto your back for our final rest pose of Shavasana. Moving the blocks out of your way. Either extending the legs out onto the mat, or you can move in a constructive rest where your knees are bent and your feet moving to the sides of your mat, knees come together. Either the hands resting on your belly to start or alongside. If the arms are alongside, try and turn the palms to face up. Shavasana means corpse in Sanskrit. The idea behind this pose is that in it we learn to, might sound morbid, but die. When we practice this pose properly, we bring in an understanding that corpse pose helps us to let go of the things that hold on to us emotionally and physically, that make us locked. The art of letting go to release these locks gets at the heart of the practice. Try to witness yourself in Shavasana. Observe yourself as you are relaxed and awake. Listening Bravely by Gillian Pransky. The ground longs to carry you, so your breath can fill you. Let your body land on the ground. Let your loving breath fill you. Feel your breath meeting you tenderly. Feel your breath caring for you inside. Pause. Relax more. Feel where your body meets the space around you. Feel where your body meets the air. Feel your skin, a porous outline opening to the air. And imagine you could breathe through your skin. Imagine that the grace of your breath could flow in and out directly through your skin, porous body, porous mind, porous heart. Softening into the wholeness you already are, relax, open, listen. You are already whole. You are already whole. You are already whole. begin to deepen your breath. Invite small movements in, wiggling your fingers and your toes, circling your wrists and your ankles. If your knees have been bent, extend them long. Everybody floating their arms overhead for a long stretch. And then drawing knees into your chest. Rolling onto your right side, extend your right arm, using it as a pillow under your head. And taking a few deep breaths here in this nurturing, nourishing pose. And when you're ready, making your way up to a seat, crossing the legs, spine tall, close the eyes, soften the gaze, hands come to heart center. A soft bow of the head, take a moment to thank yourself for taking this time for you. Honoring the intention that you set at the start of your practice, what brought you to your mat today. This relationship between our breath and our body. If ever you find yourself stressed during your day, 3 deep, long, even breaths do wonders, the magic of the breath. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Always an honor and a privilege to lead you all in this practice. And let's seal it with the sound of Om. Take a full cleansing breath. So inhale and exhale it out. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. You're welcome, Pam. Thank you. I know. When you see me do something that's not, is this on the ass? Is she screaming? I know. I know. I didn't do that when we were there. Yeah. That's what they said. And I sort of ignited it so it's in flames. Yeah. But Jennifer, you good on the sewing? You know a lot, and we've done a lot of
super finicky muscle and
overstretch.
Oh,
because most people,
once you get it angry,
for most people, it's stretch.
Yeah.
So we do. It's like when we did Anayasa and this.
Yeah.
You probably don't want to do that. You don't want.
No, I didn't want to do that, and I don't want to do
the flat stretches where I go. I mean, I used to be able to do it, but now I just feel those muscles going.
Yeah, don't even think of even overstretch.
Yeah.
And they talk about strengthening it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they do, you know, they want you to.
That's why I'm still doing this and other
Yeah.
things you gave me. They also say if there's, you know, inflammation.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna take the protein I can fix it.
Yeah.
Just eat to do that.
Well, diet, there's so much inflammation in what we eat.
I know.
So much what we eat causes.
I try to be sensible, but I don't want
Right.
to resort to the drug action.
Sure.
How did,
Is this physical therapy they have you doing?
Yes.
Do they have you doing anything like, you know, lifting up over the block to try to strengthen this right here?
No.
They don't have to do that, because you can do that at home.
I can do that at home. A lot of what
Yeah.
I do are these pelvic tilts
Okay.
over and over and over.
And over, yeah.
And you can do your feet up against the wall with those.
Yeah.
If you're a 90-degree angle, like this,
Yeah.
and then do those
Yeah.
pelvic tilts
Okay.
and tucks with
Okay.
your feet up. It's another version.
So Bridget,
Bridget, yeah.
Yeah.
and this. Just pulling this over as far as I can.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Would you not suggest that?
No, it's not that I wouldn't, I'm just,
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost like figure four,
Yeah.
which is what we were doing at the beginning of the
Right.
class.
Which I liked.
Yeah.
And so
And then when I drop it down like that, how does that feel? Because the IT band, I'm thinking, if the psoas is overstretched, then is the IT band tight?
where in this constellation of problems does the piriformis sit?
Deep in the tush, the piriformis,
That's
yeah.
literally a pain in the ass.
Yeah, the piriformis, yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's good. So those, yeah, but anything, if I'm saying, because most people have a contracted psoas that needs to be
Yes.
stretched.
Yes.
So I tend, like sometimes I'll have us put a block under the back and then stretch long, like this raised.
Yeah.
Because it helps to release tension out of the psoas. So if I ever cue for those types of stretches, don't do them.
Right. Yeah.
And I probably won't,
And
because I feel myself talking to myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I would probably just, instead of that, just do supported bridge.
Which feels nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But not too.
The bridging and the pelvic tilts feel good and the stretching feels good.
Yeah.
I have pretty good days, but sometimes by, you know, early or late afternoon or 5 o'clock, this tightens up again and it's literally painful to walk.
Yeah.
So I get down on the floor and go, all right, we're gonna do it one more time. There's also something else in this
Do
talk.
you do Epsom salt baths at all?
No, I never thought of that. I
I
was
would
taught to
recommend
do
that.
this by a former teacher. It's about,
Yeah. And then, okay, I thought you were going here.
I can
And
fix
then
that.
we can engage the lower
Yeah.
abdominal,
Yeah.
vary it in this.
So go
90
lower.
degrees. Yep, you can also do extended pyramid and then drop halfway, so straighten the front knee, so your hips come back. Yeah. And then
feel
feel
that.
that lower abdominal
Yeah.
muscles work, which then helps the low back to strengthen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a nice stretch.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you-
Rose, right? It's Rose?
No, I'm Susan.
Susan.
Okay,
That's
so
okay.
Susan, would you take a picture of Nancy and I?
I'm gonna, I would like to, now this is only the second time I've seen Nancy in my life, but I took her class a year ago. I'm back here now and we have mutual friends.
Oh, okay, you feel like there's this, but look at how cute you are. You're just too cute. Thank you.
I feel, yeah, that was.
I was
wonderful.
actually
Thank you
thinking
so
the
much.
same thing, but I wanted to
Yeah,
make sure
I
I sent it to
absolutely
Jen.
send it to Jen,
Sure.
yes. So,
Her daughter's getting married at the end of this month.
awesome. I didn't know that, yeah. She'll be like, who's that?
Oh,
Just
my
say-
eyes are
just
so
say
close.
Spark.
Hold on, we gotta do one more.
Or I can send you this one if you wanted me to.
Yeah.
I'll send you.
Oh, yeah, that one's better than this one.
Let me see.
Is
It's up to you.
I feel like I'm gonna have to get that surgery to lift my
My
eyes.
son does, when he smiles big, that's what my son's eyes do.
And I always
that's-
just chalk it up to
You're
a
happy. You're happy. I mean, why should you?
Yes.
All right, here, let me
Yep,
have.
I'll give you my number.
Let me have it.
It's, you ready?
Yes.
404